Hey guys, it's Sam from the Etherscape team. Just coming to give you a new development update, let you know what we've been doing over the past month or so, what kind of new stuff is in the game. First thing you'll notice is we got this sweet new title screen. I love it. It was made by Sun Moon Design over on Fiverr, so go check her out if you want to. Excellent pixel art, so cool, gets me super pumped about the game and the content that we're going to be making here. One other announcement I wanted to make is that we are making the decision to transition from the engine blockchain to the Efinity blockchain, which is sort of the next generation blockchain coming from the engine team. It's fast and cheap, tons of transactions per second, built from the ground up for NFTs, and will also help us support a future vision of cross-game items and collaborations, which is going to be really awesome. So we're excited about that. Stay tuned for the next couple updates to hear more about as we transition over to Efinity and the kind of cool stuff we're going to be able to do there. But with that, let's go ahead and jump in and log in. So for this demo, I'm just going to log into a server I'm hosting on my local box. And we'll get logged into the game server. First thing you're going to notice is that we have done a lot of work on improving the maps in general in this update. On one side, we did a lot of random generation improvements so that the quest maps are much more full and complete looking. But also a bunch of work on the town and getting new tile maps into the game and a lot more decorations. You can see we have this like merchant square here, and also in the buildings, like if we head up here to the government building, you can actually go in the buildings and kind of go around them and see. So all this is new tech in the map that's really helpful. And we have a day-night cycle, so every day is 1 hour. Right now we're at the 30-minute mark, so we're kind of in the middle of the day. But over the course of this video, maybe it will kind of come into evening, and you'll see some of the shadowing and stuff in the lighting effects. So we're excited about that. But let's talk about some of the blockchain improvements. So one simple thing is we have this luxury merchant now. So here's a place where you can come and basically swap crypto for account upgrades, which are NFTs in your wallet that give your account privileges. For instance, like a stack chest to give you +5 slots in your stash, or Imperial Sovereigns, which are our governance token. We'll talk a bit more about these. There's going to be a lot of other things like unlocking new classes and things like that they'll just open up more parts of the game, and of course be tradable and all that sort of stuff. So this is important for funding the game. Another important thing to call out is all these crypto transfers, whether it's luxury items you buy or ether binding items to take your random loot and make them onto the blockchain. All those crypto transfers basically fund three things. One is development of the game, of course. Then some of it goes into the reserve of the token itself. So you basically keep that, and if you burn the item, you get it back. And then the last one is a percentage goes into the community wallet. The community wallet is then used to fund events for the players. So things like airdrops, play to earn events, different kind of missions and things that basically allow the players to get crypto back based on what they do in the game will be funded by the community wallet. So every time you are interacting with these transactions, you're also funding that wallet, which is going to benefit the players. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's the luxury merchant. The enchanter, I'm not going to go into. It's in the middle of development, so not ready to show off. We'll show it in the next development update. But I do want to show you the governance, which is working now. So if you go up here to the governance, right now we have one sort of test proposal live. You can see that this account here is holding 25 Imperial Sovereigns. So if I go over to my Etherbound inventory, you'll see I've got 25 Imperial Sovereigns in this account. And so that's going to give me 25 votes for this proposal. So this is just a proposal about what should be the focus for the development team in March. It's got 6 more days left in voting, and I have 25 available votes to cast from my 25 sovereigns. And if the more sovereigns you have, the more votes you get. And then you can see there's some different proposals about what we want to do, like improving elite enemies. We'll talk a little bit about those later. Adding the enchanter vendor, which is in progress already, new kinds of quests. So I'll just say I want to improve elites, so I can go ahead and click the vote button. The votes are recorded, and you can see that it's gone up by 25 votes, and my 25 votes are used. So this will be a great way for the community to be engaged and really direct the future of the game. Lots of things that can be voted on, like this simple, what kind of content do we want in the game. But in the future, when land ownership ships, you'll have things like when will land expansions happen, where we found new towns and expand the land so that more people can participate in the land ownership part of the game. Those will be voted on, so the community will control when that happens or doesn't happen. Things like how do we spend the funds from the community wallet, those will be voted on. So lots of ways that we'll use this governance for the players, the most invested in the players in the game, to control where the game's going to go and how it plays out in the future. Okay, and so we just go around the town here a little bit more, kind of show off that we've kind of redone how the forge area works with the Ether Forge. Of course, here's where you can Ether Forge items in order to take random loot you found and put it onto the blockchain, into your wallet, and you can salvage items as well, which is an important part of kind of how you fund the Ether binding and going in and out of the buildings. And that's really the updates to the town here. So then let's go ahead and go on a quest. So I'm going to head out here to travel. And let's see what we got. Let's go ahead and hit up a dungeon. This is just a level 1 character. I've just actually died in my last playthrough recently. So here you can kind of see the lighting effects in action because it's dark inside of the dungeon. But let's go ahead and okay, we got a skeletons here. And I've got an Etherbound ring on that allows me to deal poison damage, which I can start using. And then my ability here is to become invulnerable for a short period of time. So let's go ahead and use the poison. Okay, so you see that guy with the green kind of halo around him or marking? So that is a rare enemy. This is a new feature in this build. You can see that his attack is a little different. He's shooting 2 projectiles instead of 1. And when I kill him, I get better loot and better rewards. So there's 3 different difficulties of enemies that can generate besides normal. So there's rare, and then there's epic, and there's legendary. And each of them is sort of exponentially more difficult. And so and they get better rewards, based on how difficult they are, and they're more rare in terms of spawns. So, hunting down legendary enemies is going to be an important part of the end game in terms of how you are going to find kind of the best loot in the game. And we'll continue to improve out the encounters with them to make them more unique, very, more kind of crafted boss fight-esque. This is really just the beginning of that tech stack to get the basic functionality in the game, so that we continue to evolve it and continue to make the combat story really engaging. I think there's a lot of room here to make the combat much more interesting. And actually, what I'm showing you here is level 1 combat. Level 1 combat is pretty simple and pretty easy. Intentionally, it's not supposed to be the hard part of the game, but the combat does ramp up. The enemy types get much more varied as you move up in the game. So that's something to keep in mind. And in the end game, we will have basically level 10 is when the character's maxed out. It's not supposed to be a very long leveling curve. And once you have a maxed out character, it's really about item progression at that point. And you'll basically be able to take on higher level content. Even though you're level 10, you can take on content that's, level 12, level 13, much higher, much more difficult. And it will dramatically increase your magic find and your gold drop, so that, the item drops are going to be much better, and you're going to be able to continue to push your character up, finding better loot that way, by engaging with more and more difficult content. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and probably wrap this one up, and thanks everybody for tuning in, and please check out, the-etherscape.com if you want to check out more about the game. You can get to our white paper there, where we talk through a lot of the game philosophy, the features that we want to add in the coming months. And definitely stay tuned for more development updates on our blockchain integration, and we're really hoping to get alpha players into the game very soon, hopefully in 1 or 2 months we'll have alpha players in the game, getting that feedback and that learning, and also giving you all an opportunity to start engaging with it, start building out your wallets on the blockchain and voting and contributing to the direction of the game. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and looking forward to talk to you all next time.